A writer is working on a new book. A man named Malina, a reserved, thoughtful historian, appears in her life, sharing a home with him. They develop a close, but calm and orderly, relationship. He monitors her well-being, tries to support her, but remains a detached observer. One day the writer meets a young Hungarian named Ivan. He works in banking, lives nearby, and calls her frequently. Gradually, a romance develops between them. They meet in various places around the city, in cafes, parks, and at her home. Ivan displays a lively and spontaneous nature, the opposite of Malina's composure. From that moment on, Malina's life changes. She increasingly expects Ivan's calls, loses concentration, and stops writing. Malina notices the changes. He watches as the writer becomes distracted, forgets about everyday matters, and immerses herself in anticipation. Her memories increasingly include scenes from her childhood, her father, mother, and strict governess, scenes of punishments and prohibitions. These fragments overlap with events in the present. At times, she feels as if Malina isn't just a partner, but some inner part of herself, a rational half that keeps her from completely collapsing. The writer continues to see Ivan, but their relationship becomes uneven. He sometimes shows attention, then disappears. She visits his home, where she sees traces of family life, photographs, belongings, hints of children. Gradually, it becomes clear that he has a family, and the relationship with her is merely a temporary episode for him. Everyday scenes give way to internal images. The heroine imagines fires, shadows on the walls, strange voices. Small, inexplicable things happen in the house, closed doors, the sound of footsteps. Meanwhile, her conversation with Malina continues. He calmly discusses, helps her with her writing, analyzes her texts, and reminds her of rationality. She listens to him, but as if from afar. At times the narrative shifts to the past. Images of her parents appear, a cold father, a gentle but weak mother, a stern teacher. These scenes alternate with reality, as if memory and the present are intertwined. In one episode, the heroine imagines Malina saving her from a burning house where everything is collapsing. This vision becomes a metaphor for the internal struggle between passion and reason. One day she receives no answer to Ivan's latest call. A day passes, then another. He doesn't show up. She searches for him, calls the bank, and goes to the house where he lives, but he's not there. She realizes he's disappeared forever. Malina tries to bring her back to life, advising her to get on with her work and continue writing. She tries, but the feeling of emptiness intensifies. The apartment becomes increasingly dark and quiet. The heroine stops going out. Hallucinations begin. She sees Ivan in the crowd, hears his footsteps outside the door, and imagines scenes of meetings that never happened. One day, she sits in front of a mirror and seems to see a reflection that exists separately from her. A fire breaks out in her apartment. Papers, manuscripts, and personal belongings are engulfed in flames. Malina remains alone in the apartment. He calmly sorts through the papers and belongings on the table, watching the fire as it destroys her personal space and her works. His actions are slow, measured, and without panic. The flames consume all traces of her life, symbolizing the complete disappearance of that part of her personality associated with love, passion, and desire. He remains the sole witness to the destruction of her inner world, which was once full of life and emotion. Malina leaves the apartment and closes the door.